So we are at Piedmont in southwestern Wyoming here. This is a ghost town. It was originally here for the railroad, and then you can see the charcoal kilns there, stuff. Southwest Wyoming here. But right here, this is the ride I've wanted to do for a while, because here this is the abandoned railroad track we're riding on right here. So a lot of this is the original Transcontinental Railroad where we're at here. So one of the places you can ride along the original Transcontinental Railroad is kind of a cool place that you can do that. So we'll kind of follow it most of the places, see how far we can go. It goes up through here. I think it's about 8 miles or so up. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be kind of a steady climb, but kind of talk about the things as we go through here. But first, like I say, this is Piedmont. It was established. First, there was like a station before, down a little bit further. Then they moved it up here. It was called, I think, Bryant at first, something like that, named after the guy that established it. Maybe we'll look at the things. I'll get pictures of the things maybe when I get back. I just want to get out and ride before it got too hot. But they got the kilns were there. They used those for the stuff that got the wood from the Uintas here, and then it was most of that was shipped down to Salt Lake to be used down there. But this was a abandoned. The railroad quit coming through here in about 1902. Some places say 1901, some places say 1902, when they did the Altamont tunnels. Cut off about 11 miles between Leroy and Evanston when they changed it through the Altamont tunnel. And when they went through the tunnel, it was a one-way from that time, from like 1902 until I guess about I think it was, I can't remember when they finished it, 1947 or something. I think it's when they finally finished the second tunnel. There was just one tunnel through there, so it was just one-way traffic. So they had to alternate the traffic through the one tunnel until they finished the second tunnel in, I think, 47. They started building it for the war, trying to get more traffic through there. But that's kind of the area. So this is the original railroad through here. We're gonna have to get off of it for a minute because there's a reservoir right here that covers the original railway. You can see right through that gate there is where the original railway went up through. Right along there is where the original railway went up through. So this is where the original railroad used to come up through before they built the reservoir. Pelicans out there. Ducks, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. I brought my Velotrek Nomad 1 for this ride because it's a good bike for these gravel roads. Yeah, and the one thing I wish, I'm down at Pedal Assist 2. These roads are just a bit bouncy and rough. And pedal assist 3 gives me more power, but then it's a rougher ride. I wish I could get full power out of pedal assist 2. I think their newer ones are better that way. I wish I could look at one of those without having to buy it, but this is a good bike for these gravel roads and stuff. See how much dirt work they've done through here. If this is a regular road, they wouldn't worry about getting that piled up so high and trying to get it so level. There'd be more up and down, but because it was originally a railroad, it's fairly just a gradual climb up through here. Kind of an interesting rock formation there. It's just quite a little fill through here. This is the biggest fill along this through here. According to the maps I've looked at, though, you know, if you look at it, the Mormon Trail looks like it comes up through here, up this valley, and then would come up through there. Then they would meet up there and then go down. Then actually would kind of go over and then join in where the new railroad tracks after it comes out of the tunnel is where the trail, the Mormon Trail and the California Trail would go. But I think, I'm looking at all the maps, it looked like it'd come up through here, go through Piedmont up through here. There you can see lake down there, the reservoir, going through this valley and go right up through here is where it kind of went up through. According to the maps that I've looked at and stuff, I think that's where it is. I may be wrong, but it was through this area somewhere where it went up through. So a lot of history through this area between the railroad and the Mormon, California trails through here. A lot of history through this. First time I ever rode through here, drove through here, I come across this, and I didn't realize it was a railroad bed until I come to this part and I saw this big U-shape, this big horseshoe-shaped bend and all this fill, and I'm like, this has to be a railroad bed. And finally got doing some research and realized it was the Transcontinental Railroad that had come through here. This is where it came through. I didn't realize that until I did some research. So it's kind of cool to be able to ride along where the Transcontinental Railroad came through. We'll ride up here a little bit further. There's a couple other cuts I want to look at, and then where they used to switch the helper engines at. So we'll ride a little bit further. This is another place where I wanted to investigate because the county road leaves the original place up through here. I wanted to go see if I could get through this cut. Looks like somebody drove through here, so should be able to make it through. I always wanted to see if I could drive through this. You say it looks like somebody drove a vehicle through here, so okay. Why they didn't take the road through here unless they just didn't want to, maybe they needed to make the cut a little bit wider and didn't want to do it. Kinda cool. The original Transcontinental Railroad cut. Neat through here. The trains that ran through here, things that came through here, the work involved to get this done. Slowly being taken back over. Sides are getting washed down in slowly. This is the coolest part of the whole thing. This is where e-biking's fun, to get out and just truly explore. Think of the work to get this done, the workmen, the horses, and stuff to get all this cut down through. Looks like even a tie there, maybe not. There's a little bit of lumber and stuff. I was wondering if we'd see any old ties or anything. I haven't really seen anything. One looked like it could have been. Huh. Maybe it drifts in during the winter. Maybe that's why they got it. There's a lot of drift fence there. I bet that does drift in bad during the winter. Usually these have been here. It's like 120 years. Say, well, 100. Railroad came through in 89. They were built shortly after that. Then 2000. I mean, in 1902 is when they quit. You can see there the door of them. They're all pretty much the same. We'll look in one of them. I don't know how well it'll look. I don't know if we have enough light to get anything, if we don't get attacked by a swallow. Or bats. You can see the swallow nests. I don't know if you can see them or not, but there's swallow nests all up along there. Still smells smoky after all these years of not being used. Pretty incredible. They used to do. Well, remember, if I can get out and ride, you can get out and ride. And if you like these videos where I'm trying to get out and do a little bit more adventure, please share and like. I'm going to try to do some more of these, or get out and see some sights around here and do some more exploring, see what's around. Hopefully you enjoy it. It gets me out and doing stuff, and that's the main reason I do this. So have a good day. Bye.